the 3 extraordinary benefits of hot yoga. And there are 3 parts of the 3, so actually it's 9 extraordinary benefits of hot yoga. The first benefit is the physical, which is probably the most obvious. And the first part of the physical is flexibility. You're going to get more flexible than you can ever imagine. And one of the reasons why is because we're in the heat. So in the heat, the body gets soft and more pliable. Bikram's favorite metaphor, I've said it many times, you take a piece of steel to the blacksmith, you tell him you want to make a sword out of it. What does he do? First, puts it in the fire. Because if you start banging on the cold steel, you're going to break your hammer. You start stretching that cold body, you may hurt yourself, and you're not going to go that far. Before we continue on, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, smash the like button. Any questions or concerns, put them down below in the comments. I'm happy to get back to you. You want to learn all about hot yoga, flows, tutorials, factoids like this video, hit the like and the subscribe button right now. But now you can heat the room in any style of yoga. What makes our particular yoga different, it comes from Bikram's teacher Barkan Ghosh and his alignment concepts passed down to Bikram Chowdhury, passed to me, and now to you.
Oh, thank you so much.
So the proper alignment, we're not just stretching in the heat, because anybody, like I say, anybody can do any type of exercise in the heat. It's these particular poses and understanding proper alignment to get you to that next spot. Because if you're not in the proper alignment, you're going to be stuck. So with an experienced teacher, they can guide you into the next level. Now, coupled with the heat is an extraordinary equation to get you more flexible than ever before. Now, many people over the years have said to me, I really can't do yoga because I'm not flexible. To me, that's just an oxymoron, because it's like saying I can't drink water because I'm thirsty.
Oh, you have to try it.
You do yoga to get flexible. I mean, we're a performance-oriented society, so we don't want to go into a classroom and not be able to do much and not be able to keep up with the classroom. Nobody cares what you're doing. They're all focused on themselves. We want to get you to the next level, because the benefits of yoga are not in how advanced you are. This is one of my profound sayings. It's how much you're able to improve. Because if you don't start to move your body, you don't start to bring flexibility into the equation of your physicality, you're going to get stuck. And if you get stuck, it's a catalyst for injury and disease. Therefore, we have to keep you moving. Now, if you live somewhere where there's no hot yoga class, or you're just looking for a more experienced teacher, I developed an on-demand membership. We have now over 500 classes. I put links in the description below. Love to have you join the membership. There's a 7-day free trial. Click the link, see if you like it, see if it's a right fit for you. Part 2 to the first benefit of the physical is you're going to get stronger. A lot of people are under the illusion that you're just going to get flexible in hot yoga. You also have to have the strength to support that flexibility. It's just as important. My mother was extremely flexible. She could sit in the lotus position all day long and watch television, but she couldn't balance on one leg for more than a couple seconds. I've had people come into my class who have an amazing flexibility, let's say, to even straighten their leg in standing bow, but they can't hold the position. So we need the strength of the muscles to support that flexibility, and you're going to get stronger than ever before. Postures like standing head to knee, postures like the awkward pose, postures like balancing stick. It's going to make you stronger to support that flexibility, guaranteed. And the third part of the physical, we're still in benefit number 1, is that we're releasing toxins and poisons from the body by sweating, by getting your body moving, softening the fascia. Now allow the blood and oxygen to flow into the body. So when we're in between positions, in standing position, we call it samasthiti. It's nicknamed Tadasana. When you're standing after the pose, allowing the blood and oxygen to flush through the body. And when we're on the floor, in between postures, we do what's called Shavasana, even though Bikram pronounces it Savasana. When we're laying in Shavasana, once again, the blood and oxygen are moving into the bodies, into these wide open spaces that we just created. That's how you're getting more flexible and strong. We're opening these channels of the body so that the blood and oxygen can flow through. It's the most nourishing thing the body can sustain. Benefit number 1, physical. Benefit number 2 is the mental, or the mind. So we're working really hard on this class, especially when we're in Shavasana, especially the very last Shavasana. Now your body is spent. Your mind is now more willing to let go. It's how we're able to find the present moment. Many people exist in what the yogis call the monkey mind.
The order species is called the spider monkey.
We have this chattering mind happening all the time. That's why we struggle with meditation. But many times during the class, and especially after the class, your mind gets quiet. One, because you're physically spent, and now the mind is more willing to just let go and find the present moment. And why is it so important to find the present moment? Because now there's no regret from the past, anxiety of the future. There's a present moment stillness, and it's a wonderful, peaceful place to be. I recently did a video called 2 tips that you can do in Shavasana, and I explain you what these are pranayama techniques that you can use, and I do them almost in every class that I teach. So I explain to you what the 2 tips are, and then I guide you through it in the final Shavasana. And the second part of the second benefit, which is the mental, is that we slow the breath. And as we slow the breath, once again, it helps to quiet the mind. Giant tortoises can live to 150 years because they have this long breath. Unfortunately, our wonderful dogs only live maybe 15 years if they're lucky. I think 20 is like a maximum because they have that breath. So what the yogi does is slow the breath to quiet the mind, an extraordinary benefit to keep you in the present moment. And the third part to the second benefit of the mental is that it can be a positive addiction. You get addicted to that hot room. An extraordinary feeling. After the class, you're going to feel wonderful. I remember when I moved from Los Angeles to Florida back in 1982, and I said, am I really going to enjoy Florida? I'm missing Bikram, I'm missing California. And I said, but I can always have this feeling wherever I go. Because after the class, sometimes during, you feel extraordinary. And one of the reasons why is because we're getting you out of your head. If you're old enough to remember the human potential movement in the 70s, there was EST and actualizations and all these different movements. And they said, you got to get out of your head. That was their big thing, get out of your head. Because the chatter keeps us in the suffering. So in this yoga class, we eliminate the chatter, we find the present moment. The mental benefit is extraordinary. And benefit number 3 is the spiritual, how it helps the soul. People say, well, how is spirituality connected with hot yoga? Bikram's teacher was Vishnu Ghosh. Vishnu Ghosh's teacher, guru, and older brother was Paramahansa Yogananda, arguably the most popular yogi that ever came to India, to the West, to the United States. So hot yoga has a very profound spiritual foundation to it. So let's go back to Shavasana. This is the first part of the spiritual. When we're laying in Shavasana, yes, the blood and oxygen is flowing into the physical body, but also we're releasing the subtle energies, what we call in yoga the prana energy, they call it the chi in China, and the shakti energy. So the prana and the shakti are now flowing between the cells. The blood and oxygen help to build the cells. The prana and the shakti flow between the cells to help heal and nourish the ethereal body. Part 1 of the third benefit is the release and awakening of the prana shakti energy into what we call the nadis. Some say there's 70,000 of these ethereal and physical conduits that move in and around us. We're opening up these conduits through the practice of yoga, and now the prana and the shakti flow through them to eliminate the blockages. And part 2 to the third benefit is really understanding the definition of yoga. Many yoga teachers, many yoga students believe that the physical, mental, spiritual union is the definition of yoga, almost the theme of this video. That's true, but it's incomplete. The reason why yoga was created in the first place is that where people were suffering. So the shamans, the tribal leaders, were the first ones to intuit the science, to realize why we're suffering back then and why we continue to suffer today, is that we're under the illusion that we're separate beings. So the concept of yoga is to create the union between man and God, or the union between man and the universe. And this physical practice is one of the first steps to get us to that connection, to shatter that illusion that we're separate. Now, the intense physical practice in the Bikram world, and the Barkan world, and even in the Krishnamacharyan world, vinyasa and ashtanga and iyengar, the intense asana practice, especially doing standing poses, is only about 125 years old. The original asana, which means seat, the yogi is sitting in finding his meditation seat, are also reclining poses like cobra, locust, full locust bow, for example. But the intensity of the physicality, which is really why I believe yoga became so popular in the West, because now it was a physical exercise, and we could see tangible results quickly. But we go back to the spiritual foundation, and we're not just living for the physical and the mental benefits. When we have the intention of the spiritual, I believe that's when the real equation comes together. And this is one of my favorite sayings. In the practice of hot yoga, we balance the body, quiet the mind to nourish the soul. When we have that third part of the equation in our intention, it changes everything. It takes you to another level. Physical, mental, spiritual. 3 extraordinary benefits that will enrich your life, allow you to live a longer life and a higher quality of life. So that's our episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell, smash the like button. Any questions or concerns, put them down below in the comments. I'm happy to get back to you, and I will see you at the next video. Bye, everyone.